So, UFC 267 just wrapped up. Amazing fight card. The prelims were great, but today we're going to focus on the main card. That's what I'm going to talk about. Just give you guys my initial thoughts on what happened. The first fight that really blew my mind was Hamza Chimaev versus Liang. I think I said that man's name correctly. Hamza Chimaev once again goes out there and dominates his opponent without getting hit once. It's just incredible. I think the numbers are in all of his fights in the UFC, he's probably only been hit twice. That is a crazy number to do fights in the UFC and only get hit twice. That's ridiculous. I mean, the man just comes out, moves his head, reduces his level, shoots, fires off a beautiful double leg. If you're able to deny the double leg, he chain wrestles very well. He gets to the back. From the back, he's able to elevate Lee, puts him to, he took this man to the corner where Dana White was sitting. He started talking shit to Dana White. He's able to put this man on the ground, and from there, complete and utter domination. Of course, he's using the same skills that we see Khabib use, Islam use. A lot of these guys from that area, he's using two hands to control the backhand to keep the fighter off balance, keeping one of the hooks in to prevent the fighter from re-guarding and also standing back up, putting a lot of heavy pressure on the fighter, peppering them, softening them up, switching the hooks, keeping their legs very engaged as opposed to focusing mostly on upper body, which of course keeps the fighter on the bottom really locked down. He's able to control Lee throughout the whole entire first few minutes of that round. He's able to get his back, was able to get a rear naked choke sunk in, but Lee was doing a very good job of rolling himself to the underhook, to the side where the choke is not locked in, which is exactly what you're supposed to do. And then when you do that, you're supposed to turn and put your back to the mat. When your back is to the mat, the opponent that's trying to choke you does not have the right angle. Of course, what Hamza Chimaev was doing a very good job of was he would unhook one of the hooks, use his leg to hook the back of Lee's leg to flatten him back out on top of him and prevent him from putting his back on the mat. And then he will switch the hand that is choking. He did that. I believe he did that twice. And finally, he was able to get the correct angle on that rear naked choke. Lee refused to tap. He went from fighting the hand to just accepting the choke, and he got put to sleep. Absolute domination. Finished him in round number 1 about 3 minutes and 16 seconds into the first round. Dominant performance again by Hamza Chimaev. At this point, man, it's time to give this man a fight. It's time to put this man in there with someone that's more on his level, because he's just going to keep running through these guys, honestly. I mean, even I thought that this fight against Lee was going to be a bit longer because Lee is a game opponent and he's very good. But once again, Hamza proves that he is on a completely different fucking level, and it is time to start really testing this man. Who do I think he fights next? I don't know. But knowing the UFC, they're probably going to keep slowly feeding him opponents that they know he can beat. And then eventually, I think the goal is to get him to that championship fight. So really great job to Hamza. Dominated this man. Moving on. Next fight that completely, of course, blew my mind. Islam Makhachev. Islam in this fight was not fighting a bum. He wasn't fighting someone that hasn't been in there for a while. He was fighting Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is no joke. Of course, in a fight like this, there is a huge disparity in striking skill between both of them, Dan being the better striker, and there's also a huge disparity in grappling skill between both of them, Islam being the better grappler. That is exactly what we saw play out today. When the fight started off, Dan was doing a very good job of moving, pumping out that jab. Islam being the southpaw, he was kind of trying to square him up a little bit. At one point, they exchanged a little bit before Islam caught a kick. I believe Dan Hooker threw a kick. Islam followed through with the kick, shot a double leg, locked the hands, sat him down, muscled him to the cage, and from there, it was an absolute grappling clinic, bro. As soon as the fight got to the ground, the first thing that I noticed was Islam had the underhook on the perfect side. Now, when you have an opponent in half guard on top of you, there is a way that you can reverse and flip them. If you can get the underhook, like on your right side, and then you chop on their knee, the knee that is outside of your knee from half guard, you can flip them. It's like a scissor, like you can flip them like that. But Islam, being very smart, as soon as he got into half guard, he got the underhook. He fought right away for the underhook, walked the hand up the correct way, secured that, and on the other side, he secured a beautiful crossface. A crossface is when you use shoulder pressure on the opponent's head to turn their head in the opposite direction. And of course, with grappling, wherever your head goes, your body goes. So if you're supposed to, when you're grappling, it's not a good thing to be flat on your back. It's better to be on your side. So when you're trying to get on your side to start shrimping and recovering your guard, if the opponent cross faces and puts your head on the opposite side, it is automatically going to flatten you out. And that is what Islam was doing a very good job of. Strong cross face, underhook on the correct side, and slowly working his way to side control. Now, when he was ready to finish the fight, he did a very good job of switching the hip, collapsing his right hip, while moving his right arm over Dan Hooker's body, pulling the leg, at the same time securing that beautiful Kimura. Now he's in side control, but that's not the end of the battle. From side control, he was trying to go for the Kimura, but Dan Hooker was doing a very good job of defending the Kimura. And then what did Islam do? He stepped over the head. When he stepped over the head, he had even greater leverage. From there, he pulled the arm all the way back. And Dan, of course, was not able to. I mean, when a Kimura is hooked in that deep, it's going to be very, very difficult to get out, especially against a strong grappler like Islam. That was it. Finished this man with about 2 minutes and 25 seconds into round number 1. Got him out of there. Dominant performance. It's incredible how once these guys get you down, once they get you down to the ground, that's it. It's over. So, really impressive performance from Islam. Looking forward to seeing who he is in there with next. Next up, Petr Yan versus my man, Corey Sanhagen. Now, that is a fight that I did not expect to go like he did. I thought that Yan was going to implement some grappling, but in a weird way, the guy that was actually shooting for takedowns was Corey Sanhagen, which is very surprising to me. But fight starts off, Yan is doing exactly what Yan always does. He takes the first round to read you, to see exactly what you're doing, took his time, made the reads. In the first few rounds, Corey was beautiful stance switching, beautiful footwork, very fleet-footed, light on his feet, very good combinations, just really soft shots, not loading up on anything, clean work. But Yan was very composed, as he always is. Really high guard, switching his stance, working the body, focusing mostly on his boxing because the man's got some really good hands. And then as the rounds went on, he just ran with it. The fight was so good. It was such a good fight. I wasn't even scoring each round. That's how good it was. I was just blown away at what I was watching. And then before I knew it, Yan is up. I believe he won round number 4 and round number 5 as well. He probably also won round number 3. I did not score the rounds. I'm going to have to go back and watch the fight. But if you've not seen this fight, man, you really got to see the fight. If we sit here talking about Yan versus Corey Sanhagen, we'll be here forever because so much happened. So many good things happened in this fight. It was really, truly a beautiful fight to watch on both sides. And this fight really showed me, I was thinking that maybe Aljamain Sterling could make some changes, make some adjustments, maybe implement a more grapple-heavy style in the rematch, and maybe he's going to beat Petr Yan. But after watching this fight, man, I really don't know what Aljo could do to beat this guy. He's in trouble. He's in serious trouble. He's going to have to come out the absolute best he's ever possibly been, and way beyond that, to be able to beat Yan, because the version of Yan we're seeing right now, he's the champion in that weight class, period. That is the champion. That is the champion, 100%. Last but not least, Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira. Man. Man, oh man. This is the one that's a little bit bittersweet because I love Jan Blachowicz. I really do. I enjoy the man's fights, but Glover deserved that, man. Glover absolutely deserved that. The first time he fought for the championship was against John Jones. Of course, John Jones was able to beat him. And since then, he's been trying to get right back to this spot, and he finally did. I felt like this was a very good matchup for him. He went out there. He was able to take down Jan over and over and over again. And when he took him down, you see the grappling difference. He was able to just use pure, unadulterated jiu-jitsu top game to just, I mean, in the first round, he essentially sat in his guard because Jan wasn't opening the guard. He didn't want to waste too much energy trying to open up the guard, so he just sat in his guard and just pity-pat shot him the first round, won the first round. Round number 2, there was some striking on the feet, but Glover had a solid game plan, which is get the fight to the ground and beat this man on the ground because that is where I have the advantage, and that is exactly what he did. He took him down in the second round. He was able to secure top mount. From top mount, Jan gave up his back. You know, it's kind of, you shouldn't do that, but it's, you know, it's easier said than done. When you're actually in there, when you're actually in the moment and you're actually fighting, you're going to do a lot of things that you shouldn't have done. But in the moment, you're not thinking clearly. You've got another man on top of you who's completely dominant. You make mistakes like that. So he gave up his back. Glover saw the submission, flattened him out completely, locked in the rear naked choke, and Jan tapped really, really quickly. When you tap that quickly, that choke is locked in, and it is a painful, painful choke. I believe it wasn't the choke where you lock it in this way. It wasn't that one. It was the cable where you're holding on this way, and the forearm is hidden. I believe this is called the trachea. The forearm is hitting this part of your choke. That's painful as hell. The regular one, you could kind of fight a little bit because it's not like it chokes you, but it's not painful. But when they're choking you this way, that really fucking hurts. So Jan felt that. I believe he tapped out. At first, we thought that it was maybe a neck crank on the chin because those are brutal. Maybe that's why he tapped out as quickly as he did. But he confirmed that it was a fully locked in, clean rear naked choke. And there you go. Glover Teixeira, our light heavyweight champion. What an incredible main event. Really, really, really enjoyed it. And now, Glover, as we're talking, is probably going to fight Jiří Procházka next, which is going to be, it's going to be very interesting. I don't know if Glover will be able to get past Jiří because that man is absolutely freaking crazy. But that is still a fight that I am looking forward to seeing. But man, that is it. We are not going to waste too much time. I do apologize that I wasn't able to post the fighter showcases for Jan Blachowicz, for Glover Teixeira, and for Petr Yan. I really wanted to, but man, there's been so much going on right now. I haven't had time to put out as much content as I really want to. And you guys are probably not going to see me maybe until Monday. We'll see. We'll see how things goes. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching this one. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about these fights. And I will definitely see you guys later with a brand new one. As always, stay safe. Peace out.